everybody. It is Monday, Mentoring Moments. Hey, can you guys give it up for the one and only Pastor Jesse L. Stevenson, who is on the keys playing our theme song for the month, Manifest, by my friend Jonathan Nelson. Listen, give it up in the comments, Pastor Jesse Stevenson. He comes every single week ready, prepared to serve in the manner in which he does. Let's give it up in the comments for the one and only Pastor Jesse L. Stevenson. Listen, it's Monday, and it's that time again for Monday Mentoring Moments. I'm so excited of all of the many places on the internet that you could be, that you stopped by to join us tonight, and I'm so glad you did. Listen, we've got some incredible things that we're celebrating. One is that last year, 2021, which was a challenging year in and of itself, still right here at Ivy Ink Soars, we saw over 1 million views of Monday Mentoring Moments. And why that's so awe-inspiring to me is that I never started doing this for views or likes or any of that, but I knew that there was a segmented group of people that I was called to inspire, to motivate, to encourage with everything that's within me. And that was my sole motivation for starting Monday Mentoring Moments. And Delana, who watches along with Isaiah all the back end statistics and data, started sharing and said, hey, by the way, you're at 824,000 views. Hey, by the way, you're at 900,000 views. Hey, by the way, and now we have exceeded 1 million views in the year of 2021. Well, I thought that was great and wonderful, but last week we kicked off our brand new series, Own Your Mark. Somebody type it in the comments. And last week alone, we had over 33,000 views. It's just mind-blowing what's happening. But people are finding information, inspiration here, and we're grateful that they are. We know that a ton of people come on and watch this late in the midnight hour. We know that they watch it on the weekends and times that are convenient for them. Still, we know there's nothing like being live. So let's do what we do. Let's tag, post, and share. Get everybody in the room. Tonight is going to be special. I want to ask all of you that were here last week, let me know, did you enjoy Pastor Wright? Come on, put it in the comments. Did you enjoy Pastor Wright? I mean, he kicked this thing off like only a spiritual father can. He talked to us about owning the preparation, owning the responsibility, owning your expectations, and owning the pursuit. I mean, it was phenomenal. And I want you all who have not seen it to go back. You can either go to ivymcgregor.com to rewatch, or you can go right here on Facebook, the Ivy McGregor page that has the blue dot check. You can go there and you can check out the replay. It was absolutely phenomenal. But somebody type in the comments higher, because every single week we are going higher. And listen, tonight my big sister Charlotte Stallings is here. She's hung out with us before. You all have heard her, but I'm telling you, she's got a power-packed session for you tonight. She's the financial guru. She's the winning without perfection or permission guru, and she's the model big sister. And I'm so honored and delighted that she's here tonight. So we are going to let her loose in just a little bit for her to do what she does. But just before we go into something called our digital download with Delana, all the D's, digital download with Delana, we had to give it a name. There are just a couple of things that I want to lift to you, that we are all praying as a community for everyone, for anyone that's been impacted by COVID, by the Omicron variant, by Delta, by any manner of sickness. And there are so many people that are challenged with that or caring for someone. So we're praying for everyone. I specifically want to lift tonight Dr. Devetta Hammond, whose aunt transitioned We are certainly praying for her and her family. We are also lifting, you all know Hamdi Mohammed, who is a part of Ivy Inc. Team and doing incredible things, was just elected into public office there in Seattle, has tested positive for COVID. And so we are keeping her lifted in prayer. And also, I shared with you all, I believe last week, or maybe it was on the segment that my sister hosted, that my mother lost her cousin she was very, very close to, and that family was preparing to bury their father on the same day that their mother passed. Just let that sink in a moment. On the day that they're preparing to bury their father, their mother doesn't wake up. So I want you not just to say that you're praying, something that my sister Charlotte and I do. If somebody asks for prayer, we pray right in that moment. And so I want you to remember the Green family in your prayers. Will you do that? And I want everybody that's a part of this community. We established this year that we are looking after our seniors. So all of those of you, reach out to Mom McGregor and show her some love and let her know just the way that she prays for us and rallies around us and covers us, that we too cover her. Will you all do that? Will you all show her some love? And we are praying for everyone, even those whose name I did not mention, but we are praying for you. And if there's something specific that you need prayer for, you can text the word prayer to 323-220-8989. Thank you, Isaiah. You can text prayer to 323-220-8989, and immediately we will connect you to a member of our team that will reach out to you and stand with you in prayer, because that is what we do right here at Ivy Inc. I'm so excited because tonight is going to be special. And so before I go into what you all are here for tonight, is to hear from Charlotte. We've got some special things that are coming. You know, I grew up in church, and oftentimes when there was a big convocation and before the main event, they would have like a pre-word. What do they call them, Pastor Jesse? Sermonettes or something. And we got a sermonette for you tonight. It's coming in the form of Dahlia Hartford White is going to give us a pop-up, because most times in January we do a fast. And while many people are cleansing and doing whatever it is to care for your bodies, we wanted Dahlia to come and give you just a short snippet. And she's going to be hanging out with us all month long. And so you're going to see her back on screen sharing meals that you can prepare, things that you may not be aware of to help start your year in healthy facet. So you're going to get health tips tonight, and you're going to get money tips from Charlotte Stallings. It's just going to be an incredible time. Well, let's rock and roll. Isaiah, let's bring up Delana so we can jump into this new segment that we're launching called Digital Download with Delana. Delana, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing very well. You've been in my prayers. That's why I've reached out to you often to just see how you're doing and how you're navigating, and always asking, hey, you safe? And so I'm so proud of you for navigating this space and jumping in. As you all know, Delana works in healthcare and works at a hospital, and many of the staff members have been impacted by COVID. And so she's had to jump in and help. And so she's been working numerous hours. So let's give it up in the comments for Delana. So Delana, you and Isaiah started something called Digital Download. So I want you to just introduce this tonight and let folks jump in with you as you see fit. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, good evening, stores, and I'm honored to present to you the digital download, which first I would like to say that the fact that we exceeded 1 million views in 2021 is amazing to me, because that's more than 3 times the previous year, 2020, which was the start of Monday Mentoring Moments. So it's just an ode and a testament to the impact of the vision of Ivy Inc. stores and Monday Mentoring Moments, and a testament to the faith and consistency of our leader, Miss Ivy. So again, that's amazing. And to start the year 2022 off with 33,000 views in just 1 week, and actually in under 3 days is mind blowing. So that's what the digital download is all about. It's to encourage those numbers to keep growing and to make sure we are all connected in every way possible, which of course obviously we host Monday Mentoring Moments here. You can watch on Facebook and be live with us. But also I want to make sure you guys are connected with us on ivymcgregor.com, which is where we, of course, keep you guys updated and sell merchandise as well. So that's an important platform. So for those who don't know, Miss Ivy is official enough and she does have her own website. So let's make sure we have that website saved to our phones because it's very critical for all things Ivy Inc. In addition to that, there is the Ivy Inc. Stores community, which is the private group on Facebook that you are all welcome to join. And that's also where throughout the week we stay connected and we have conversations and we have prayer requests and all types of things to just engage the community and meet each other aside from Monday Mentoring Moments. So if you're not connected with us there, please do that now. Take a moment to write it down, or if you have another device that you can add that on, please do that because that is also a very vital and important space for our community. In addition to that, you can also rewatch Monday Mentoring Moments now on YouTube on Miss Ivy's YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Ivy McGregor. You can search it up now or later, but just make sure you do it because we don't want you to miss it. And also, please be connected with Miss Ivy on Instagram, which is at the number 4 I am Ivy, and also her Twitter page, which we have very interesting dialogue about things that happen in the world. And Twitter is a space for short but interesting conversations. So that's something you should all definitely tap into if you're interested. That's the digital download for now because the year is just starting. But as the year goes on, I will have more numbers for you guys because I know y'all going to tune in on every platform. I know you're going to continue to share with your friends and family, and that this will grow beyond anything that we all can expect. Maybe 3 million or 5 million views this year. We'll see.
Speak it, Delana. Just keep speaking it. I love it. Hey, thank you so much, Delana. Everybody, can you give it up in the comments for Delana? She's a college student. She runs this digital download piece. She does so much behind the scene, and she's got one of the dopest pieces of merch that's about to drop real soon. We'll share that with you, I think, next week. But let's give it up for Delana in the comments. Can you do that? Thank you, Delana. I'm telling you, Isaiah is doing it. Digital download with Delana. Well, Isaiah, jump on screen with me if you are able to.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Isaiah, you guys give it up in the comments for our creative producer, Isaiah Parks. I mean, this guy works nonstop to make sure that things flow with excellence and with ease. And you are so appreciated, Isaiah. You are an answer to prayer. And I'm just grateful that God connected our path for such a time as this. Well, we've got a big announcement tonight, right?
Yes, we do. I'm so excited about it, Miss Ivy. Do I get to do the honors?
You are up. You get the honors.
Well, listen,
everybody. Drum roll. We need a drum roll.
Registration is now open for the 2022 Mastermind Masterclass. Everyone who is here has early access before we go public. So let's register right now. I'm about to drop the link. Miss Ivy has made our Monday Mentoring Moments free throughout the year, and this small fee allows her to give to her guests that are gracing us with such great facts. So I want you guys right now to visit the Eventbrite that I'm about to place in here at ivyinc.eventbrite.com and get your tickets now. It is so easy. It is available for everyone. And honestly, I think that if you're serious about doing and elevating this year for you, you should go ahead and get this link and go right now.
Isaiah, you guys give it up for Isaiah. He works tirelessly behind the scene, making things happen. And listen, my good friend Marquise Boone, who is a wealth builder who you all are going to absolutely love, is joining me on the last Monday of this month, which will be a paid masterclass. Now, listen, before you all get nervous, the masterclass fee is an investment in you, a small investment. Guess how much the masterclass is? $20.22. $20.22. We have 55 people on. All 55 of you should be signing up and registering right now to the masterclass. The first 4 Mondays of this month, the information that you are getting, which most people would charge, what we got last week from Pastor Wright, thousands, literally. A friend of mine reached out to me afterwards and said, I feel so bad that this great information that you're sharing is free. Do you not know my sister that's coming tonight to share? She shares all over this country. And so to be able to have her on this platform, this small fee is an investment in you. And my friend Marquise was like, it's not about money. It's certainly not, but we want to give just an amount so that people take serious this own your mark and investing in yourself. So I want everybody to run to the link and register tonight for the Own Your Mark Mastermind Masterclass. The link is in the comments. We'll also be posting it on the website. We'll also be posting it on all social platforms, and we'll also have it in the community. But I want us to nearly sell out tonight before we go public with the tickets. Will you all do that? Run to Eventbrite, ivyinc.eventbrite.com, and get your ticket to the masterclass, which is the last Monday of this month. It is $20.22. And listen, many of you can buy 5 tickets, can buy 10 tickets, can buy maybe even 20 tickets, and invite your whole tribe to be a part of this. All right. I'm so excited. It's going to be mind blowing. And if you all are enjoying what we're doing in Monday Mentoring Moments, trust me, you need to stay the course and register for the masterclass. All right. And share it with everybody.
Miss Ivy,
yes, sir.
3 people have already purchased their tickets.
Listen, let's go, Soars. You guys are like no other community anywhere. By the time Charlotte finishes the presentation tonight, let's have sold so many tickets. All right, let's make that happen. $20.22. All right. For the year 2022. Let's make it happen. That everybody do what other stores are doing in the comments. I see the Big 5 conference has registered for the masterclass. Let's see who else has registered. Type it in the comments. Rosalind Allen, so good to see you registered. Lanessa Moshe has registered. Lawrence Spearman registered. Cornelius Lyons registered. Who else? After you have registered for the masterclass, will you just type it in the comments? LaShawn Jasper, good to see you, sis, registered. Go ahead and take Tony Lee, done. I hope that means registered. All right, thank you all. We are going to try to sort this issue with Dahlia. Isaiah has just sent me something. Wow, we've got 14 people that have already registered. You guys are amazing. Angela Henderson has registered. Yolanda Carroll has registered. Everybody go and make that happen. Take a few moments now to do it so that you can reserve your spot. Lisa, there's my sister in love. Lisa is registered. Thank you, Lisa. I'm telling you, it is going to be a session that you do not want to miss. Run to ivyinc.eventbrite.com. $20.22, an investment in you. Before we go public with this, I want to make sure that this community is served first. All right. So let's do that. And let's make sure that you post it. We'll have an asset that we post in the community. And we'll also post it on the Ivy Ink Soars Instagram and Facebook. So you can grab that image and share it with your friends. It has the Eventbrite in it. Thank you, Charita McGee, for also registering. All right, Isaiah, how are we looking with Dahlia?
She is logging back on to try again.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, give me I tell you what, let's go ahead and in just a few moments, we're going to bring Charlotte up and allow her to do her thing. And then if we get things sorted with Dahlia, we'll make it happen. If not, we'll bring Dahlia back next week. All right. Because I want to give a free and open lane to Charlotte. She's prepared. And listen, you guys, I often tell you, whenever you're in the company of greatness, not only do you always have a great question, but you prepare yourself to take copious notes and to really not only soak it in. Sometimes we get so note ready that we're not implementation ready. I think I just said something. And so you don't only want to be in the place where you just have notebooks all over of all these great things said, but you want to have check marks that said, I checked that off the list. Listen, we have Tony Lee registered, Tori registered, Christy Herring registered, Charita McGee. As you registered, just type it in the comments. Isaiah, what number are we at now in terms of registrants?
Let me reload. We are currently at 18.
18, my goodness, this is some kind of good to me. Jesse Stevenson registered. All right, let's try it real quickly and see if we've got Dahlia up and ready. Dahlia?
Hey, y'all.
How are you?
Hear me now?
Yes, we can, and there's no echo.
Awesome. I'm so sorry about that.
All good. Those things happen. It's so good to have you here. I'm honored that you are part of the community and that you are such a faithful and consistent supporter. And so it's my honor to allow you to share a bit about your vision. We just have a short time for you to do it within, but I know that you can do it. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to turn it over to Dahlia Hartford-White.
Oh, first of all, thank you, Ivy, for allowing me to share in this global space with you. I'm humbled and deeply grateful for this opportunity. I don't take being here lightly. I appreciate you. Like the people in the church say, before someone gets up to preach, I won't be before you long, because Sister Charlotte is coming on and she's going to share with us a bit. She's going to talk about owning your best financial position. And I just want to kick it off tonight by encouraging you all to own good eating habits. Let me just start by saying what works for one person may not work for the next. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't necessarily like fads or diets. But what I do advocate and know for sure is that making good food choices and consistency are two key ingredients to a healthy lifestyle. When I say what works for one person may not work for the next, I mean that regardless of your fitness goals, regardless of what they are, you may not benefit for what works for the next person. It's important to focus on what you eat, how much you eat, and the next time I'm in this space, we can probably discuss how to incorporate mindfulness and exercise into the mix. Being healthy starts in the kitchen, not in the gym. It actually really begins in your mind. So first, let's talk about healthy eating options. Food is fuel, and it's what makes the body function the way it's intended to. Your body requires a certain amount of calories, and the amount you take in daily varies depending on your age, your gender, your level of activity, and your size. Foods that are high in calories but low in nutritional value provide empty calories. Staying away from fast foods and processed foods is essential if you want to live a healthy lifestyle. Since we are all built differently, I'd like to just offer you what really should be a universal way of eating that's good no matter what your level of activity is or your discipline is. Eating a balanced diet includes eating foods from the 5 major food groups. We learn those in elementary school: vegetables, fruits, grains, protein, and dairy. Doing this helps you maintain good health and reduces your risk for disease. Food is medicine. I know that there are those who have certain dietary restrictions and allergies, so it's always a good idea to seek advice from your healthcare provider when making lifestyle changes and better food choices. I am a foodie. I absolutely love food. I love eating in restaurants, mainly because I hate washing dishes, and I love to try new recipes. I get a lot of ideas from eating out. Even though I usually don't measure anything, I will still take a recipe and add my eating and living well with Dahlia twist on it. I try to eat at restaurants in moderation though, because at the end of the day, I want to be that person who grows old gracefully without taking a lot of prescribed medication. So in order to do that, I must make good food choices. And sometimes it's hard to do when dining out. I'm always tempted to try those not so healthy options. So moderation, moderation, moderation. We talk a lot about legacy nowadays. And one thing for sure, the way to leave a great legacy is to take care of your temple so your children and family won't have to take care of you. Be an example of how good choices can enhance your everyday life and lifespan. Some of my favorite foods, and Isaiah may have a couple of pictures of some of my favorite choices. For breakfast, I like avocado toast with chunky guacamole from Whole Foods, garnished with everything basil seasoning, cherry tomatoes, and cilantro. Sometimes I'll add an egg. I also love to make an amazing kale and sweet potato frittata for breakfast. That is made similar to quiche. It's filled with those two superfoods, kale and sweet potatoes. Very little cheese, mushrooms, onions, and some citrusy rosemary seasonings. It's so, so good. For lunch or dinner, I love salmon or grilled chicken, a great salad, baked sweet potato, Brussels sprouts, or some type of green like asparagus or collards. The more color on your plate, the better. Healthy snacks are also an important variety to eating well. A handful of nuts, fruits, veggies like carrots or celery, which are great with hummus instead of fatty ranch dressing. Speaking of dressing, in order for a salad to be truly healthy, pay close attention to the labels, the fat and the sugar in dressings. And it's always a good idea to put it in a small container and just dip your salads into the dressing to watch your consumption of salad dressing. Grocery shopping in the outer perimeters of the store is key. When you do that, you're getting more whole foods and less processed foods. Produce, dairy, protein, and grains are usually found on the outer perimeters of the grocery store. Most of the processed foods that are the majority of those are going to be down those aisles that you walk in the grocery store. Making healthy choices definitely take preparation. Planning take preparation, planning, and you will have to do all of that to have a healthy body. A good habit to have healthy options on hand, readily available to prepare. Fruits and healthy snacks in the kitchen counter or in your pantry will help you make better choices when you need a quick snack. Preparing a menu for the week for those from those outer parameters of the grocery store will always help. And stay hydrated. It's definitely a lifestyle. You are worth it. You have one body. Take care of it and own it. Thank you, guys.
Dahlia Hartford White. I'm telling you, what we have in this community is just phenomenal. Dahlia, you were amazing. And listen, we have on screen her website, where you can purchase one of her meals, purchase a consultation with her, but we support our own. So Dahlia, it's such an honor. And you know, I'm so glad that you said yes to this, because you're not so much in front of the camera person, but God has pulled you out of your comfort zone to take you where you're going. And listen, you did a phenomenal job tonight. Incredible information, as well as presentation and preparation. Can't wait to see you. Listen, I know you all enjoyed it. In another 2 weeks, Dahlia will be back, and she's going to do another pop-up. So again, Dahlia, thank you so much for this great content and great information. Everybody give it up in the comments. Dahlia, wow, we've got so much in this community. Well, listen, drum roll, we are at the moment that you all have been waiting for, and me included. Listen, my big sister, Charlotte Stallings, has been all things get your money right for all of my life. That she's been my big sister, and she's helped us, guided us. When we fall, she fallen and countless times. She's been there to pick us up, to help us, and to give best practices, to give tools. She's a big sister par excellence, but she is a financial guru that teaches you how to win without perfection or permission. And she's going to share tonight. I'm so honored that she's here, and I want you all to take copious notes. You are in the presence of greatness. Charlotte, thank you so much for agreeing to be with us. And tonight, again, I want everybody to stay over. We're going to go until about the 6:15 mark. So Charlotte's going to share for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to do a 5-minute Q&A when she has finished. Charlotte, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How are things down in Houston?
Things are good. We've been on the road a little bit. We had some crazy weather, but it's better now, and that's a good thing. So always good, always well. Yes.
Well, Charlotte, thank you so much for being on. Everybody's so excited, and me included. So I'm going to turn it over for you now, for you to do what you do. Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Okay, and thank you. I appreciate you. Love you. So let's get into this. So I am really honored to be here tonight, and I'm honored because it's not that it's my sister and that you're here. It is you all are committed to your growth and your success, and that you are here tonight and every night that you come and you listen later on. It speaks volumes to who you are and what you're committed to doing. So I honor you. I celebrate you. I encourage you, and the things I want to share tonight come from that space. So I've made some notes, because you all know I can go every which way, and I want to stay on course, and I want to be obedient to the assignment that's been given to me. So this topic during this month in the Ivy Inc. Soars community, of which I'm a full-fledged member and part of, own it. I love that. Own it. Pastor Wright talked so wonderfully last week about many aspects. What really resonated with me was when he talked about owning responsibility and pursuit. So if I had a subtopic, if I were a preacher, and I'm not, Ivy owns that. But if I were, I'd say my subtopic for tonight is own the work to achieve the wealth. Own the work to achieve the wealth. Now, I want you to put that in there, because honestly, straight up, I used to think, ooh, blessings, we'd pray and the blessings would just come. Something was going to break through the sky. That's not how it works. We have to do the work. If you think about any place, and I'm going to say just little bitty references here, but in the Bible, the children of Israel, they were given, the Lord had promised them the promised land. He was giving it to them. Yet they had to go in and to pursue the land. They had to go in and to overthrow the inhabitants of the land. They had to work for it. Even as they were moving toward the promised land, they traveled many miles, long distances, so many different things. So we will have to obtain, we will have to pursue. We've got to put in the work. Bishop Jake's message just on yesterday talked about this, like, go get it, go get it. So we have to do that. So own it is our overall urging theme. Own the work to achieve the wealth. You want to be wealthy, you got to go get it. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. None of my siblings. I don't know too many people who were or who are. And so I just want to encourage you. It's going to be some effort. It's going to be rolling up those sleeves and getting in there. We can do it, okay? Now, I want to highlight a few other things that have been said. Well, no, I'll save that until later. Let me continue. Delia said, it begins in your mind. So owning our health, it starts up here. And you know what? That's the same thing with our finances. It really, really is. So this idea of work, I want to give you this definition. Actual definition is activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose or a result. So, what is it? What is the result that you want to have with your money? I want you to start up here thinking about your end game. What is it that you want to achieve for yourself? So, putting in the work or the activity mentally and physically that's required to get you there is what's going to be critical. There is no shortcut to achieving wealth and achieving the dreams and the goals that you have for yourself. I don't know of a shortcut, and I've been in this business for a long, long time and learned some strategies that, again, I thought were magical and handed to people, but they were not. So let's go on this journey a little bit. We're going to start with some mental, and then I'm going to give you some real, actual, practical things that everybody can and should do today. So work looks like what when it has to do with our finances? It looks like acknowledging your truth. So I appreciate that Ivy will say, Charlotte's been that person who's maybe been there for the family, and I am thankful. But you know what? There were times where I didn't have it. I'd go out and I'd ask, I'd beg, borrow. I didn't steal, but I would beg, I would borrow. I have friends who I came to them and said, hey, somebody in my family needs something. Can you help me out? That was the truth. That is the truth. And if need be, I'd go out and do what I needed to do to support my family and help them. That's acknowledging your truth. What is your truth around your finances? Sometimes we are chasing something or chasing an image that we want to project, and that's not getting us anywhere. It's hindering us financially. So we've got to be honest. Like when we come to the Lord with wherever we are in life, it's being honest about that. So work looks like acknowledging your truth. It looks like transparency, being straight up about it. That's some of the biggest challenge, one of the greatest challenges, especially in our community. I don't mean SOARS, but I mean our community, people of color. When we're wanting to work with financial advisors and experts who can help us achieve our dreams, it's about laying down all the cards. It's about being real deal about where we are. And many times we're overspending, over budgeting, under budgeting, overspending, and being transparent is a hard thing. So we neglect these areas. So that's what work looks like in our financial lives. A couple of other things. It is doing what you're doing tonight. It is seeking knowledge and information, continuing to be a sponge, an absorber of information so that you can grow and know and share. So that's what the work looks like. It looks like getting outside of our comfort zones. It looks like doing things that are maybe uncomfortable for us, but we know that they're going to stretch us and grow us. It looks like experimenting, trying different things, different apps, different tools for budgeting. As an example, I used to be all about these papers. Ivy will tell you, my good friend Dr. Gina will tell you, I'm paper centric. I like to touch paper and have physical books and touch them. But you know what? Experimenting, the work of being financially savvy and just solid meant I had to get out of my comfort zone. I don't need a file folder for everything. Where am I going to keep it? Why am I keeping all this paper? So moving to more of a digital base for things, that's working for me. And being willing to stretch and experiment and try new things. I'm just offering it to you to consider. What does the work look like? Remember, it's own it. Own it is our overarching topic this month that Ivy's given us. And I'm saying to you tonight, own the work to achieve the wealth that you desire. Work looks like a variety of different things. The last few things, it looks like persistence. It looks like consistency. It looks like staying the course, even when it doesn't look good, feel good. It looks like staying the course. It looks like talking. We're going to talk about that. It looks like, again, rolling up those sleeves. It looks like asking questions. And sometimes it even looks like starting over because it just didn't go the way that we had planned or intended, or we have great plans and then life happened. So if you've ever encountered or experienced any of those kinds of things, you know what? Pat yourself on the back, girl. Pat yourself on the back, guy, because you've been putting in the work. And in order to achieve the wealth, even what's been promised to us, what the Lord said that we can have, sometimes we've got to do that work. Most times we do. Okay. So let's get into, before I jump into strategies, because many times people will say, well, just tell me this, that, and the other I need to do. And I say, without some mindset changes that Dahlia just said to us, it's all for naught. It's all for naught. It really is true. I believe you, Dahlia, when you say, it starts in the kitchen. I've had trainers tell me that. I go, work out, work out. And I said, but nothing's changing. And they said, because your kitchen habits aren't changing. They say abs are made in the kitchen. I've yet to see all my abs do right. But the same thing. Our financial futures are made. They start up here. We've got to address our mindset. So I've rereading the 4 agreements. It was referenced in some training I was involved with, and it just hit me again like a ton of book bricks. Just the idea of 4 agreements, and so I'm not promoting the book, but just that idea of the agreements. And so I wanna extrapolate something from there, and I want you all to consider tonight your money agreements. So I've kind of taken this as just a launching pad to think about some money agreements that we all can have. And I want to offer you this as a basis for grounding our minds around our money behaviors. So here's the first agreement, and you call it, you can put this in the chat, my money agreements. Here's number 1. I agree to accept my past financial choices and to commit to better. I agree. This is a money agreement you make with yourself, because it starts with us. I agree to accept past financial choices and commit to better every day. So what we're not going to do is beat up on ourselves. And I say this often. I said it last year, Ivy, when you graciously invited me to be involved with the SOARS community over several weeks. You know what? It's a line in the sand. I'm not going back. I'm not going to spend time or energy on what I would have, should have, could have done. It's done. It's over. It's past. I'm going to learn and I'm going to grow. I'm going to learn and I'm going to grow. So that's the first agreement. I agree to accept past financial choices and to commit to better every single day. Okay. Agreement number 2. I agree to talk about money with the people I love. Interesting statistics. Harris Poll conducted a survey a couple of years ago, and they found that 51% of people who responded said they don't talk about money to friends or family. They don't talk about money to friends or family. It's been a taboo topic for so many years. I come against that spirit of we don't talk about it. It is critical that you talk about money, not just when things are going bad, but when they're going good, and how to make this next move. What do I do? Ask the people involved around you, those who are further along, who are doing the things that you want to do. Ask them, talk to them, share, be willing to do so that you can grow and go where you need to. So our first agreement, I agree to accept past financial choices and commit to better. And again, I'm not slamming or saying, oh, if you made bad choices, it's not that. It's just, I agree to commit to whatever those were, and I'm going to do better. Second one, I agree to talk about money with the people I love. Why do I say that? Because these are the people you depend on, the people who depend on you. Those that you love, whether blood or not, who's in your circle, who's in your life, who depends on you, who do you depend on? Have conversations about money. What do you talk about? What's important to you about money? Your goals, your aspirations around money, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, all those things. Here's the third agreement I want you to institute tonight and going forward. I agree, this is deep, to consume less than I produce. I agree to consume less than I produce. You know what that means? I'm going to live on less than I make. Now, somebody in this community, you may be rolling big and you bring home, you net millions of dollars. And I applaud you. I applaud you. Yet if you're living like let's say if you bring home $1.2 million, but you live like you bring home 1.3 million, you know what? You're as extended as the person who brings home 50,000, but they live like they make 51,000. The idea is living, learning, developing the discipline to live on less than we make. That's how we create disposable income. That's how we have leftover money to invest in ventures, to be able to buy 20 tickets to come for $20.22. Like to be able to do that without even thinking about it. To be able to pay your tax bill if they say you owe $5,000. Okay, that means, gosh darn, I made a whole lot of money and I owe a little bit extra. No problem. I write the check. When you consume less than you produce, you have extra by which to be a blessing to the kingdom or to other people, or to start a new business without worrying about going and getting funding from the bank. We can do so much. Third agreement, I agree to consume less than I produce. Listen, there was a little video floating around. You've maybe seen it. It was Missy Elliott. She was being interviewed a couple of years ago. And you all know Missy Elliott, very, very successful in the recording industry, entertainment industry. And her comment that really struck me, she said, "I fly commercial." I think that was the tag on it. And we're going to get to strategies. Just hold on. It starts up here, okay? So Missy Elliott, the interviewer, was saying, "Well, why don't you fly private?" She said, "Listen, we're all getting to the same destination. My preference is I want to keep my money so when I turn 70, I haven't ran out of it because I was flying around the world on private planes." So she goes, I have no problems. I don't spend all of what I bring in. And she said that's how come during a 14-year period, maybe where she hadn't made records or done something, she was good. Over 10 cars, 7 homes, paid off. She's like, I can sleep in any one of them. I was inspired. She understood this concept, this agreement I'm wanting us to leave here with tonight. I agree to consume less than I produce. And I don't care if it's $1 less than what you bring in. When I say produce, what's your income? What do you do to bring money into your home? Live on less than we make. Here's the final agreement before we launch into these things. I agree to be in control of my financial life. And who is this agreement with? It's not your friend. It's not your boo or your bae. It's you. It's you. You be resolute. You be solid on these areas. Let's review them real quick. Number 1, I agree to accept past financial choices and commit to do better daily. Number 2, I agree to talk about money with the people I love. I will not allow it to be a taboo topic. I will not feel shame or guilt or anything about what I do make or don't make. God has blessed you, put you in the stratosphere. Amen. That's an encouragement to others of us. We don't take it as braggadocio. We are encouraged by that. Number 3, I agree to consume less than I produce. 4th and final, I agree to be in control of my financial life. And so with a mindset that says, I'm going to own, as Pastor Wright said last week, we're on a trend here, I'm going to own responsibility and the pursuit of. So now let's get into pursuit mode, okay? Here we go. And Ivy, with your permission, after tonight, I've made this little grid. I'm going to show you. It's like a little matrix, because the way that God gave this to me, was to talk about now, soon, and later. Literally, a couple of phases for us to think about. So we're switching, and I'm giving you strategies and tactics, things that we can put to use right now in the present. What should I do now? And these are the questions I get. Like when I'm on TV on Fox 26, I do a lot of that locally in Houston. What should we be doing right now? What should we be doing soon? What should we do later down the road? So I had 4 fingers up, 3 different time perspectives. Now is what I'll call short term or immediate, like the next 3 to 6 months. Soon I'll call more intermediate. That's maybe 6 months out to a year and a half or 2. And then long term, even that 3 to 5, 7-year period farther down the road. So get that in your mind. Now, soon, and later. Now, the little chart that I put together to help me, I'm a visual learner and I process things in terms of matrices or tables. I'm thinking about everybody who's here or who will listen. And so 3 simple buckets again. So 3 by 3. What could we do now, soon, and later? And then here's one community that might be here within this community, people who are just getting started, or you're starting over. And do not be ashamed if you're starting over. Whatever has gone on, you're starting again. That's okay. You get to use a white slate and go forward with this clean white slate. So maybe you're getting started or starting again. I think about our daughter who's just yay, starting her, she calls it her big girl world job. And so she's launching. And there may be others who worked inside their home for many years, or they ran a business and now they're working or transitioning the opposite way. And so they're starting again. That's okay. So I'm going to talk to that community. And then the next community, I call it the beyond the basics. You may say, okay, I've gotten some of those core things under control, and I'm looking for moving beyond that. So I got some things for you. And then that last wonderful community, I would put my mother, my dear sweet mom, in. Hey, mommy, leaving a legacy. You are, God has blessed you to do so much, and you're in that place where you're thinking about, I want to leave a strong legacy. Okay, so here we go. Buckle up, take your notes, and here we go. So first, I want to talk about now some things that you could be doing for those who are getting started or starting again. First things first. Now you may say, Charlotte, you said some of these last year. You're right, and I would say you're so smart and brilliant. You're absolutely right. Here's the deal with financial matters. There's no new stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And I bet if we popped Dahlia right back in here, and I think even to say Pastor Wright or either other guests who'll be coming on over the rest of January, and I'm watching the time, Ivy, I am, they would say there's no new magical stuff. There really isn't. There's spins on things, but for the most part, it's the core foundational stuff, and it's being consistent with what we know and doing. So first things first, run the credit report. So if you're starting out or starting again, can you do now? Run your credit report. Why? Because there could be errors or omissions on there, and because you want to have a sense of how creditors see you. So go to myannualcreditreport.com. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything to pull your credit reports from the 3 reporting agencies. They all report information slightly differently and at different times. So you want to get a snapshot of what each is saying about you. This can make a huge difference in interest rates that you're charged for purchasing a car, getting a home, all those kinds of things. We all have a credit score, a FICO score. FICO stands for Fair Isaac Credit Organization or Fair Isaac Company, and it's a number, and there are several numbers that are out there. There's a Vantage score and a variety of them, but it's a number. The higher the number, the better. 850 is like the max in the FICO system. And if you have a low number, no problem. You can raise it. You can improve it by doing things like paying on time, paying more than the minimum, by not having a huge usage in your credit cards. And by that, I mean, you've got a $1,000 credit limit. You don't want to be maxed out at the 1,000. About 30% is where you want to keep that. So looking at your credit report, knowing what's in your credit reports helps you understand what creditors are seeing. They don't know us by name. They know us by our social security number and what's in that credit report. So if you're just getting started or starting again, what you can do right now, run your credit report. Also, it's about being organized. Maybe you just got out of college. Do you have some student loans? When are those going to be due? President Biden just pushed back when those repayments will again kick in. It was going to be January this month. Now it's pushed out to May. So be aware that this is organization. So what you should do now, be organized. Know where all of your financial information is, your bank statements, your credit card statements. Many times they're online. You don't have to get anything in the mail. We're saving the trees and reducing our footprint. And so get organized. That's my big message for those of you starting out or getting started again. For those of you who say, I'm beyond the basics, again, organization, do everything I just instructed those getting started. So I don't want you to just look at your credit reports, because I'm assuming you've been doing that. It's free to us at least once a year, every 12 months, rolling cycle. Look at your credit reports. Here's a tip for those who are in the beyond the basics. For your children, your grandchildren, your godchildren, encourage them to do the same. Run their credit reports, because there are crazy people out here, and they are getting social security numbers and securing property and cars and things in the names of our kids in their number, using their social security numbers. So those of you who say, I'm beyond the basics, what do I need to do? Make sure that there are no errors or omissions, or that your identity has not been compromised. So you want to check your credit reports for those reasons. I also want you, what can you do right now? Those who are in this category of beyond the basics, you say, I've got some things solid. I've been investing, doing some things. What should I do right now? I want you to review and discuss all of particularly your retirement accounts. So any IRAs you have, traditional or Roth, your retirement accounts at your employer, whether it's a 401k, 403b, 453 plan, whatever that is. Don't just click when you see it show up in your email and just file it or delete it. I want you to open this up, or if it comes in the mail, I want you to be looking at your allocations there. I want you to see, has one asset category really grown significantly? It maybe started off to be 1/4 of my total portfolio, and now it's grown to be, 60 or 70%. That puts you in a position of being a bit more at risk, because now one part of your portfolio has significantly grown, and growth is what we want, but it can come back to bite us. Here's an example. Remember 2008, 2009, housing market was like just through the roof. Everybody was getting a house. It was like, Hercules, I got a house. And then that stuff imploded. And then everybody's credit was getting dialed back. You could have 850 credit score. They were pulling down credit balances, cutting off cards. All kinds of things were happening. And in our efforts to say, what does my retirement account look like if I've got a lot invested, say, in real estate, because that's what tanked. What's that doing to my portfolio? Now, if I overexpose myself to an exorbitant amount of risk that I did not need because I don't look at my statements, I don't really read, they come and I click, or the statements come in the mail and I toss them in a folder or a file. So if you're in that category, what can you do right now? You say, I'm beyond the basics, Charlotte. I need you opening those statements, reading them, understanding what your portfolio allocation is, talking to your investment advisor through wherever your retirement account is housed, so to speak, and understand everything you own. If there's a question about something, you need to delve into it, get more insight, okay? And we're moving. So I will add this to the list of things to do right now. It's around organization for those in the Beyond the Basics category. I want you to think about your overall financial health and do a financial overview. So it's not just your retirement accounts, but looking at your checking, your saving. Yes, you can still be saving. If you're contributing to a 529 education plan for your child or grandchild, do a full comprehensive overview. You can sit down, pulling out all of your documents, doing that on your own, and doing that with all of the people in your financial world on your team, whether that's your insurance agent, your financial advisor, whoever comprises your financial team. And we all do need a team, okay? So we've talked about what can be done now for those who are starting out or starting over. We've talked about what can be done now for those who say, I'm beyond the basics. And I want you to know everything I said to the first group, you should have that covered, okay? Check off every box. Now let's go to those who are leaving a legacy. Here's what I want you to do right now. And when I say right now, I don't need tomorrow, but I mean like these are things you can work on now. I want you to maybe sit with a family member, or if you have a financial advisor, and just have a nice, simple worksheet where it's indicated that you have a will, if there are any trusts that you have, investments that you have, it's in one place. And you know what? This is where you're going to talk. Tell your loved ones, tell your family members where this information resides, okay? We're speaking long life and many years, but communication is really important. This is what I'm saying for right now, for those who are in that legacy space. Pull your loved ones into conversations with your trusted financial advisors, okay? So everybody's on the same page around what is important to you. And it's not saying, here's all my business, I don't want them to know. It's just making them aware, introducing them to the people who you have tapped into over the years as a trusted financial advisor. So that's the biggest thing you can do. Look at those retirement accounts. If you've got accounts that are in other places, maybe consolidating them, or at least having this worksheet. It can be a simple spreadsheet that says, I have trust A or trust B, and I've got, here's my will, and here's where it is, literally, physically, where it's located, who should be contacted. Things like that will be very, very helpful for you and put you at peace. Also, durable powers of attorney, living will, all those kinds of things are important. So a simple spreadsheet to say, here's where my stuff is. Okay. Ivy, I'm cranking through. So that's something everybody can do now, whether you're starting over, or you're in that second bucket. You say, you know what? I'm beyond the basics. Here's one other good tip for people in the beyond the basics category and those starting out. I need you. This is so huge. Go to your employer. I talked about it last year, and I'll talk about it every single time I have the chance. Make sure that your beneficiary designations reflect what it is you want to have happen should you not be with us any longer. Who have you designated on your retirement assets to be the beneficiary of those assets? It's very, very, very important. Sometimes we have employers, we've worked at different places, and we named our boo, who was our boo back then. We got a new boo. And so something happens to us, guess who's going to get those dollars? It's not your current boo. And that's not a fun conversation to have. We'll talk about that another time, okay? So quickly, I want to go to soon. Remember I said now, soon, and later? Soon, what should you do if you're getting started or starting over? I want you to know your numbers. What is that? We talked about it before, but own, spend, and earn. Those are the 4 numbers everybody needs to know across the board, whether you're starting out, whether you're beyond the basics, and even my legacy community. So know your numbers. What do you owe? Make a full, complete list of everything and everybody you owe. For your car, your mortgage, credit cards, you have an installment loan, whatever that is. What do you own? That's the second O. All of your assets. All of your assets. Yes, your home is your asset. There's a mortgage maybe tied to it, unless your home is paid off, and that would be so super cool. There's the mortgage, that's fine, but we're talking about what is the value of that asset. So all of your assets, everything you own. And then you need to have a list of what you spend. Spending, what goes out of your home. What are you spending? You need to know those things. And then what do you earn? What are you bringing in, and how regularly you're bringing it in? Is it every 2 weeks, or is it twice a month? Every 2 weeks, you get 2 more paychecks in the year. Twice in the month, you got 24. But until you really write these things down and you know them, big, huge. If you're a business owner, same thing with your business. Know your numbers, what you owe, what you own, what you spend, and what you earn. Okay, here's another thing, and I'm going to go quick. And Ivy, I'll make this one-page kind of matrix available to everybody. Set a 30-day goal. What can you do soon? Again, you're in the getting started or starting out. Set a 30-day goal. I say that because it's a jump start. It's a fast start, okay? It's like Weight Watchers at the beginning of every year. They pop out with all those commercials, and it's like, fast, let's get you in there quick. 30-day, if you can set a goal, and here's what it might sound like. By February 10th, 2022, I want to have $200 saved. Now, that might be a good little goal for my daughter who's just starting out, or somebody who's starting over, but that's what we want to consider. A short-term goal. Why? You know what? It's psychologically a great incentive. You go, I set a goal and I knocked it out. A goal might be to establish your rainy day or opportunity fund. You might just say, you know what? I want to have $1,200 in my cash reserve, or my rainy day or opportunity fund. We may call it that. And that's like $100 per month. So if anything jumps off or happens, I can get my hand on $1,200. If I need to fly out of town, or somebody's got a great opportunity to go on a girls' weekend trip. Okay, so you could set a goal like that. And what you should do soon, again, it's for that starting out or starting over category. Set a spending plan. People don't like to say the B word, budget, but it's so important. It doesn't mean you can't spend your money, your hard-earned money. It just means we're going to keep on track the spending plan, okay? Quick for you, those who are beyond the basics, you know what? Your cash reserves, you need to have it on lock. I don't want you to have $1,200. No, ma'am, no, sir. You need to have 6 months of committed expenses somewhere. So if there's a rainy day or an opportunity, think back. Those in Houston, or if you read about us in Houston a year ago, people were getting ready to get pounded with that big ice storm that we had. Pipes burst left and right. And even with insurance, you had to pay the deductible to get the insurance to come out. And you had to have it right then to get a plumber to come and take care of you. Where does that come from? Not your retirement account, not from what's in your checkbook, from your cash reserve. So those of you who are in that beyond the basics category, what should you do soon? I need you to review your cash reserves and up it. People ask me all the time, give me some investing tips, And I say, talk to me about your cash reserves. And they kind of frown up. Why? Because it doesn't make sense to invest unless you have money set aside for those rainy days, those short-term kind of needs. The tires. I had to go get some new tires. I didn't want to, but I needed to. Where did it come from? The cash reserve. So those of you who've got some, if you don't have 6 months earmarked, I want you to review that. That's really important. Another thing, revisit your goals, your short-term, your long-term, your intermediate goals. How are you looking against those goals? So revisit them and make sure you're addressing them. Debt can be a big thing that sets in here for those who are beyond the basics. You've developed, some good habits, yet there may be some debts, and it's not overwhelming you, but why carry it? So I want you to really focus on snowballing the debt, paying down those credit cards. So then you're not just carrying those extra levels of debt there. And last thing for this group, assess your portfolio risk. And I'm going to just say that and pause. And I'm sorry, there's some hammering that's happening other parts here, so forgive me for that. I want you to assess how much risk have you assumed in your investment portfolios. It may not just be at work where you're investing. I want you to totally max out your contribution to your retirement accounts. Everybody, that's a big important thing. Those who are starting out, if you have access to a retirement account, day one, put the max in as much as you can, because you'll get a match from your company. And develop the discipline to do that right away. Those of you who've been contributing for a long time, look, how much risk am I taking on? Am I totally invested in some things that make sense for me because my retirement is down the road and I can afford to take on a bit more risk? Or am I not assuming enough risk? It's relative. Each person has a different level of risk. So don't worry about what somebody else is doing. You determine what's important for you. But look at your portfolio composition and look at your risk levels, make adjustments, and again, that diversification. I talked about it earlier. If you're only invested in one stock, you're not diversified. Okay? So diversification. You may need to rebalance. It's like adjusting the tires on your car. If you've just been riding and your car pulls to the right, you may need to get some new tires or, rotate those tires so you have a more steady ride. Same thing with your portfolio. So if you see, I'm not too diversified, or I have taken on more risk because one category, we call it an asset category, one stock or mutual fund has really grown significantly, I need to rebalance. I need to do some shifting. So talk to your investment professional about that, okay? The last thing I'm going to say, Ivy, I'm not, for the sake of time, going to go through the later column. These are some things that can be now and soon, okay? The last thing for my legacy community, I would just simply say this. It's important for you to transfer knowledge. Okay, everything that you did to achieve success, whatever it was, tell your family members, tell those that you love. Sit down and talk with them about how you developed the discipline, the sacrifices you made, how you did invest and you stayed the course. You didn't jump here and there with your investments. Transfer knowledge, that is huge, okay? And you don't have to be at that legacy stage to transfer knowledge. You could be at any stage. Talk about what it is that you're doing that's working for you and ask questions. For those in my legacy group, I would say it's your charitable contributions. It's not just your tithing, but you may say, you know what, I've got a vehicle and I'm going to gift that to an organization where they can work on it and they can learn all kinds of things that you can do. But talk with those who you love, talk with those who you've pulled together in your circle as your financial confidants, the people who have helped you to get where you are. Talk, 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 talk. Okay. Ivy, I'm going to stop because I can keep on going, but I will stop. Okay. In the sake of time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Just a wealth of information as always. I took so many notes. I love your subtopic, own the work to achieve the wealth. I like the way that you put it. It's not just going to happen, just I'm going to pray and poof, it's going to happen. It requires work. And then the work being defined as activity, like you have to do something involving mental or physical effort. I love the agreements, the agreeing to accept past financial choices, the agree to talk about it, have the conversation, the agree to consume less than we produce, and then the agree to control my finances for my life. There's so much information that you've shared. I know everyone's taken tons of notes, and this is the way that I want to do this. First, I want to say, Charlotte, we'll be sending you something tonight to say thank you. So the next time that we reach out, you'll be glad to come and hang out with us. So Cash App as soon as we are finished. And everyone who would say, hey, I want to give something to Charlotte, here is the way that you do it. Purchase a ticket to the masterclass, because the masterclass is what allows us to give something to Charlotte and to all of the great speakers. So anyone who says this was just dynamic and I got so much information from Charlotte, how can I be a blessing? Run and register you and your whole house for the masterclass, and that allows us to be a blessing to Charlotte and all of the speakers that we have this month. Listen, what I want to do, because I know that we had some questions. Someone asked a question, Charlotte, about talking to their adult children about finances and just a number of things, but I want to stay committed to time because I know that people are in transition with their kids going back to school and a ton of things. So what I will say is if that we will go back, our team will go back and grab these questions, and Charlotte will send them to you. And that's the way that everyone who's taken the time to present a question, we have your name so we can send you your response back in instant message through Facebook if we don't have your email address. Okay, so we'll grab your emails, we'll send your questions, we'll send them over to Charlotte, and that will be a way for you to engage with her. Often what I say to everyone, every person that we have on, this is what they do for a living. And so the day of picking someone's brains, and I saw somebody post something about being in the DMs, getting information, sow a seed, and invest in that person's business, invest in them, and allow that to be the entryway in terms of you supporting their business as they support you with information. So we want to be people that are integrous people, that support people, but also respect their business. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Charlotte, I can't tell you thank you enough for this. Again, my little fingers were just taking so many notes. And I love that you make it so practical, something that everyone at every level, no matter where you are, it's something that you can do. So thank you.
Can I just say this real quick, only because I saw it in the chat a couple of times, and I know you're honoring time. So my book, I wrote a book several years ago. It's called I Wish Someone Had Told Me, Financial Lessons Learned the Hard Way. You can go to Amazon and get it. And just a quick little testimonial, somebody who might be here tonight, she just purchased a copy of the book and she said, your book is really good. I literally couldn't put it down. Very practical financial advice, easy to read, even comical at times. And she said her relationship with money has changed over time. I only say that there are great, great, great books that are out. I just want to say it is a resource. I wish someone had told me Financial Lessons Learned the Hard Way. Amazon, it's nominal in price, and I think it will bless your socks. So thanks, Ive.
Very good. And the final question that I was going to ask is your website and where people can connect with you.
Absolutely. It's just charlottestallings.com, where I find that I help a lot of people. They reach out. I will sit and chat with anybody and just give you some guidance and support you on your journey. So you can hit me there. There's a button that says coaching. Hit me up, and however I can support you, I'm happy to do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Charlotte. This was amazing. Everybody give it up in the comments for the one and only Charlotte Stallings. Listen, we've got our own financial expert. We've got our own person that understands money the way we deal with money. And you heard it live in living color here on Monday Mentoring Moments. This month, all month long, we're talking about own your mark. Own the mark that you will make in the world, in your family, with your friends, with your vision, with your business. And we're giving you tools. Last week was spiritual. This week is financial, along with the health tips from Dahlia. And next week, we're moving to mental and physical. We have two incredible presenters. Felice Hightower Britt will be talking about owning your mental wealth, health. And then we will have Dr. Devetta Hammond, who will talk about owning your physical health. You do not want to miss it. We are going higher and higher. And again, next week, we'll have a surprise every week. Next week, we're dropping brand new merch. You've got to be here to see it. You want to be on live to be the first to see it. So join us next week. Be a part, spread the word, use the hashtag, own your mark. Listen, there's so much talk all over the internet about this series, Own Your Mark. So invite your friends to be a part. And if you've not read today's Greater Than article, run over to greaterthan.bulletin.com. It's a great article called Own Your Mark that will really bless you. So run over there and read that. Make sure that you come back and check out the replay and watch it with your family members and friends. Will you do that? And finally, I want to encourage everybody, run and register for the masterclass. It's the last week of this month. It is one you cannot afford to miss. It's only $20.22. Isaiah, jump on screen with me. Let us know how many people have already registered and who were the first registrants.
So we currently have 31 people registered for Own Your Mark. People ready to change and make their mark heard. And our first registrants were Tony Lee, Angela Henderson, and Felice Hightower Britt. They were the first people to register.
Let's give it up to our soars who are jumping on this. I don't want to release this in the public domain space and have other people running to an opportunity without serving it to you first. So thank you. You guys give it up in the comments for Isaiah, who puts all of this together. He sends emails to our guests to make sure that they are online and ready. And Isaiah, we just appreciate you so much for all that you do behind the scenes here at Ivy Inc. Soars. And again, tonight was just incredible, and we're continuing to go higher. This is a session. You've got to come back and watch it and review it with your notes and take new notes and make sure that you've got everything you need, not just to write the notes, but to apply what you have heard. Run to Charlotte's website, go and get her book. Let's buy out. Many of you purchased her book when we had her on, but those that didn't, I'm telling you, it is an easy read, and it is one that you will enjoy and take notes on each pages. Let's go buy her book. Let's go to her website. Let's follow her. Let's be a part of what she's doing, and let's show that we here at Ivy Soars, we support our own. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out. We're a little bit over time, but that's all right. We got great information. Make sure that you go and register for the masterclass, and make sure that you tell other people about this financial ownership session that we had tonight, like none other. Where else can you find this free on the internet? Thank you all for being a part. Come back, be a part of us next Monday night. But for those of you, make sure that you're a part of the community, because tomorrow we're going to chop it up and talk about it Tuesday, where you will have an opportunity to share what were your highlights, what were your takeaways, and who knows, maybe we can get Charlotte to pop in to talk about it Tuesday. And maybe, just maybe, she may answer some of your questions there or just pop in. But it would be wonderful for her to see how she has blessed each and every one of you. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow over in the community for Talk About It Tuesday. We look forward to seeing you back here next Monday, same time, same place. Remember, this is the season. On your mark, get set, let's grow. I'm Ivy McGregor. Thanks so much for hanging out. We'll see you same time, same place.